Okay, now let us talk about this movie coming out of 2010. And the movie is Clash of the Titans, and it is directed by Desmond Davis. It stars Sam Worthington, Alexa Davlos, Ralph Fiennes, and Luke Evans. Now, with everything that we do, we need to exercise critical thinking. We need to connect the dots and most definitely ask questions. What is it that Hollywood is trying to tell us? Because these movies, they show us a whole lot of revelation on what is to come and what they are currently doing to humanity. Understand, we are living in the end times. Now, this movie surrounds the rule of so-called mythological gods, but there is nothing mythological about them. In fact, they are the fallen angels that the Bible speaks about, and in today's world they are rebranding them as aliens, right? Whether they are good or bad, they all will be known as aliens. And a couple weeks ago, the Israeli space boss shed some light on it and let us know that the American politicians and the Israeli are meeting with these so-called aliens, when in fact they are meeting with demonic entities, fallen angels, and it comes from the horse's mouth. So understand that these fallen entities are set to come back on the earth, because that is what they are setting humanity up for. Now, this movie surrounds their rule when they were on earth, setting up various civilization, different sections of the earth, and each time they will set them up, the Most High and the avenging angels would destroy them, because these fallen ones are exceptionally wicked and cruel. They are not loyal to their own. They will not be loyal to humanity. And anyone out there doing their bidding and having meeting with them, thinking that you'll be given position, thinking that you'll be given power and any form of loyalty, it is not going to happen. They are wicked and cruel entities. And this movie sheds light on the cruelty that they exercise on humanity. We need to connect the dots. Now, let us go into this narration at the start of the movie, and we pick it up from here. The oldest ever story told are written in the stars, stories of time before man and gods, when titans ruled the earth. The titans were powerful, but their reign was ended by their own sons, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. They are not even loyal to their own family. They're always constantly fighting amongst themselves for position and power. Understand that we are in the middle of a spiritual war. Now, when these entities were ruling earth and they were cruel, they expected humanity to be grateful, to love them, to worship them despite their cruelty. Now, Perseus' adopted father, Spyros, had this to say: one day somebody's gonna have to say, enough. Where have we heard that one before? Now, let's get into their seat of power, which is Mount Olympus, and we see where they are ruling with their children, their offspring, because they did have children. Understand, this is all about sex, right? Now, we have a scene where Zeus made a very disturbing comment, because Zeus made it clear that he created man. And these fallen angels, these fallen entities, they are under some strange illusion that humanity is their personal science project, that they can alter our DNA, that they can do experiment on us, that they can do whatever it is they can want to do without any consequences. And it's not going to happen, because they are busy right now trying to get us all to take their vaccine in order to change our DNA. Right? Because after all, the Israeli space boss did tell you that they are working with with humanity. They are speaking with the US and the Israeli. So definitely they've got their plan for humanity, and they're not in a position. They must be having some mental breakdown, thinking that they will get away with what they are planning. Now, another scene in this movie that I find disturbing is when Hades come along, and Hades wanted to get permission from Zeus in order to cause confusion amongst man. No. Why do I find this so disturbing? Because it reminds me of a story in the Bible where Lucifer had to go get permission from the Most High to try to get Job, to tempt Job to turn his back against the Most High. Now, right here, this movie is letting you know that these fallen entities, they are not in charge, right? They are not in charge. They never were, and they never will, because they have to be seeking permission to do whatever they want to do. They don't roam the earth and do things as they like. They've got to seek permission from the Most High. They must be under some spell, believing they will win. Now, let us get into this dialogue with the queen and her daughter. Now, the daughter said this to her mother, which is a queen. You provoke the gods and you act as if there will be no consequences, because they go out and fight these gods and burn their temples. And the mother said this, well, what do you want? Should we be afraid? Should we be trembling and soiling ourselves in fear? The gods need us. They need our worship. What do we need of them? Look at my daughter, the daughter says down. What could be more divine than her face, more beautiful than all the women of Greece, more beautiful than Aphrodite herself? The Olympians should envy her. We are the gods now, right? Because despite the fact that these gods are exceptionally cruel, man put up a valiant effort to fight against them and deprive them of their worship. Now, in comes Hades, because Hades is not going to have none of that. Now, this is what Hades had to say. And listen to this carefully, because you realize just what they think about us. You are specks of dust beneath our fingernails. Your very breath is a gift from Olympus. You have insulted powers beyond your comprehension. So the queen says, who are you? He says, I am Hades, kneel. What do you know of beauty? What is more beautiful than death? Gaze upon me, mortal queen, as the queen starts to age. Now you see the abuse of power. You see how they bully humanity. And you understand what they think of us. Mere specks of dust beneath their fingernails. And these are the gods they are busy trying to let out on humanity. These are the gods they want us all to be worshipping back again. And these gods are exceptionally cruel, and if you visit mythology, you will see it among the lines of history. Now let's get into this. Hades had this to say, in 10 days, when the sun is eclipsed, again, signs in the skies, I will unleash the Kraken. Argus will be swept from the earth, and all of you with it, unless you sacrifice the princess. Now, these entities, one thing, you can always depend on the blood sacrifice. They love the blood of man, despite they think of us as mere specks of dust beneath their fingers. They love our blood. You so foolishly compared to the gods. Only her blood will stay the Kraken. And Zeus, who you have so offended, choose your penance, Argus. Destruction or sacrifice. This is the will of Zeus, the will of your father. Zeus ain't our father. But this movie is showing you the reign of these so-called mythological gods. And you need to understand that they are coming back, and these movies are shedding light on how wicked and cruel they are. Understand, we are in a spiritual battle and we need to pray. Let us say, glory be to the Most High.